Welcome to Deep Dive. Today, we're plunging into a concept that, while on the surface, feels like a complete contradiction. We're talking about digital homesteading. And for you, our listener, we've really dug into some fascinating articles and research to pull out the key stuff. Now, when you hear homesteading, I bet you immediately picture something pretty rustic, right? Someone out in the country, maybe uh, growing their own food, raising chickens, or even churning butter. It's all about self-sufficiency, often a conscious step away from modern consumerism.
Exactly. And what's truly compelling here, I think, is how these modern homesteaders are embracing that self-reliant spirit, but then taking every single step of it online. And we're not just talking about like posting a few nice garden photos on Instagram. Not at all. This is about building full-fledged, profitable businesses. It's about leveraging those traditional skills in this entirely new digital landscape. So yeah, our mission today is to kind of uncover how this movement actually works, what its secret sauce really is, maybe, and why it's becoming such a powerful and profitable new trend for so many people.
Okay, so the big question then is, how does a traditional self-sufficient lifestyle, all that hands-on skill and practical know-how, how does that find its footing in the online world and, well, become a thriving business? It seems kind of counterintuitive at first glance.
It absolutely does. Yeah. But if you really dig into the sources, you quickly see it's about a pretty profound redefinition, actually.
Mhm.
The homestead itself transforms into the core content.
The homestead becomes the content.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that content then isn't just, shared casually. It builds a brand. And that brand ultimately evolves into a sustainable business model. So you find you're not just selling a physical product, say a loaf of sourdough bread.
Right.
You're actually selling the dream, your expertise, the authentic journey of creating it, and the whole story behind it all.
That's a really powerful shift. But okay, for someone maybe picturing their own garden or their workshop, what's the very first sort of practical step to turning that into content, rather than just keeping it as a personal hobby? And what truly fascinates me about this whole trend is just the sheer ingenuity and how they monetize these everyday sorts of skills.
Well, I think the critical takeaway here is the shift from simply consuming knowledge to actively uh, producing and teaching it. These digital homesteaders, they aren't just showing off their skills, they're demonstrating, they're instructing, they're inviting other people into their world. And this emphasis on leveraging tangible traditional skills for a, frankly, massive digital audience, an audience that's hungry for this kind of knowledge and connection, that's precisely what makes it work. Take, for instance, a small-scale sustainable vegetable farm. They're definitely not just selling their kale at the local farmer's market anymore.
Right, exactly. And this is where it gets really clever, I think. They might launch a highly popular YouTube channel showing people exactly how to grow their own organic produce, like from seed all the way to harvest. And that channel then becomes its own revenue stream through ads, sponsorships, basically turning their daily chores into valuable content people want to watch.
Absolutely. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, you'll see how they start layering on additional income streams too. So maybe they launch a membership site for exclusive content.
Oh, interesting. Like what?
Well, think detailed planting guides, maybe seasonal recipe ebooks, or even live Q&As where people can ask specific questions. They might also sell digital products directly, like printable garden planning templates,
Uh-huh.
or maybe their own unique natural pest control formulas. It truly transforms the homestead into this comprehensive, multifaceted business ecosystem. It's not just about the yield from the soil anymore. It's about the knowledge gained from tending it.
Or let's consider someone who's an expert in, say, sourdough bread baking. I mean, who would have thought a simple loaf of bread could be the foundation of a digital empire, right? But they're not just selling their loaves at a local bakery. No. They're running online masterclasses for aspiring bakers all over the world. They might be creating a subscription box with custom baking tools, maybe even developing their own line of artisanal flours based on their unique process. It's really about bottling up their expertise and making it accessible globally. And another great example we came across was a woodworker, someone building incredible custom furniture. So they're not just selling tables and chairs, they're actually teaching others how to craft on a platform like Patreon. They might offer downloadable blueprints for their designs for a small fee, and they end up fostering this thriving community of fellow crafters who share tips and projects online.
Hmm. And this really raises an important question for us, doesn't it? What truly ties these incredibly diverse examples together? I mean, from vegetable farming to woodworking, it seems like it's not just about the end product.
No, definitely not.
The value consistently seems to be in sharing the skill, the process, and crucially, building a community around that shared passion. It becomes about participation and learning, not just, acquiring a thing.
So, what does this all mean for you, the listener, maybe thinking about your own passions? If there's a core differentiator for digital homesteading, like a true secret sauce that sets it apart, it really has to be authenticity. But I think it's actually more than just being real, isn't it? It's almost like building a microeconomy based on trust, one that
Uh,
kind of bypasses traditional advertising altogether.
eh,
In a world that feels saturated with AI generated content and, increasingly mass produced goods, people aren't just craving something real. They're actively seeking it out, and they're often willing to pay a premium for it too,
Right.
which creates this unique sort of economic moat for these digital pioneers.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it. The digital homesteader embodies this completely. They are the expert, they are the product, and they are the storyteller, all kind of wrapped into one person or family. And this powerful combination, it resonates really deeply with an audience that is actively looking for purpose, for meaning in their own lives. So yeah, it's not simply about selling goods. It's fundamentally about connecting with an audience on a much deeper level,
Yeah.
sharing values, building that community around shared passions. It's about transparency and this shared experience, which honestly creates a much stronger bond than traditional marketing ever could.
So the takeaway here is if you have a passion for making things with your hands, for growing things, or maybe for a life rooted in quiet skill and self-reliance, remember that you might just be sitting on a potential gold mine, really.
hmm Yeah, the digital homesteading movement powerfully proves that you don't necessarily have to sacrifice your values or your chosen lifestyle to build a profitable business. You can actually just share them with the world. So maybe consider this, how seemingly niche or perhaps old-fashioned skills, when you couple them with modern digital tools and a really steadfast commitment to authenticity, how they can truly unlock some unexpected opportunities. Opportunities for connection, for impact, and yes, for sustainable income, especially in a world that is constantly seeking out what is genuinely real.